JD Vance has had enough of Chuck Schumer and the government shutdown, and he's speaking out.
Now here is our very simple proposal to the Democrats. Let's sit down and come to a compromise and work it out. And you know what the Democrats' response to that is? Give us everything we want, or we're going to shut down the government and keep it shut down. That is not reasonable behavior. That's not how you do compromise in this town. That is the way that the Democrats have operated. They are trying to take a hostage, and we can't reward that behavior. If we do that, if we say, yes, of course, we'll give you everything that you want if you reopen the government, you know what's going to happen? In 3 months, they're going to come back to the administration and they're again going to say, we're going to shut down the aviation industry. We're going to deny people SNAP benefits unless you give us exactly what you want. That's how a child behaves. That is not how a responsible governing party behaves in the United States of America. And let me make one final point, and then we'll cut out of this press conference. Look, I've been a little bit unfair, and I want to correct this, because when I say the Democrats have shut down the government, it's actually the far left side of the Democratic Party.
The blasting comes after 31 days of US government shutdown led by Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer, who refuses to reopen the government unless his list of unhinged demands are met, which will cost the government billions of dollars.
Well, this is all caused by the Democrats. They asked us to do something that's totally unreasonable. They never change. They want to give money away to illegally, people that entered our country illegally. They want to give them massive federal money. And we don't want to do that because it means everyone's going to just keep pouring back. Right now, we have absolutely perfect borders.
And things are going from bad to worse for Chuck Schumer, who is quickly losing the support of his own side, with members of the Democrats and the leftist media turning against him.
Well, I think it doesn't solve the health insurance problem, the premium problem. I think what's a very fair deal and is open the government and let's just vote on extending these premiums for a year or more. Well, I don't understand what's so hard about that. And by the way, Senator Thune has offered that, I believe. He said he'd offered up a vote that we can actually have a vote on extending these premiums. I think when put to it, you're going to see Democrat and Republicans, senators and congressmen and women want to vote for that. Why would you not want to vote to extend help with these tax credits, get premiums down for people? People are getting hurt right now in their pocketbooks. Yep. They're really need help. So why not give them some help?
And it's not only Democrat politicians turning against Schumer, but also the media, with the Washington Post editorial board also calling for the reopening of the government. They made a blunt statement saying it is wrong that the Democrats have held the government to hostage for a month. This comes after the usually left-leaning CNN's Jake Tapper blasted the shutdown.
Should the Democratic senators from New Mexico, your home state, vote to open the government so that these SNAP funds are not at risk?
Let me be clear. The administration is choosing to starve American children with money that they already have appropriated.
I'm not applauding their
tactics.
By
the White House.
Well,
this is a choice by the White House.
This
they
is
are
also,
choosing
Congresswoman,
to cut
this is
off
also a
food
choice
assistance.
by Senate Democrats
No,
to not
it is
vote
not.
to open the government. Yes, it is.
And it's not only the media calling out Schumer. Business leaders and industry have called on him to reopen the government for the sake of their employees.
The biggest way to ensure the safety, security, and reliability of our national air traffic control system is to pass a clean, continuing resolution.
We are concerned that when our brothers and sisters in TSA and air traffic control are not receiving paychecks, that they're distracted and that they erode on the margin of safety that we rely on to go out and operate our aircraft and do our job safely as well.
Every day that they go to work, they have not only the weight of one of the most high consequence jobs in the entire world, now they're feeling, how do I pay for my gas? How do I put food on the table?
No one should have to work without being paid. Congress owes it to the American people to get this thing done, get a clean CR done, and get the government back open.
The CEO of United Airlines doubled down, slamming Chuck Schumer and saying the shutdown is hurting the US economy and his workers.
It's also putting stress on the economy. The first couple of weeks this had no impact on the economy, but as every day goes by, the impacts start to grow. And airlines are a pretty good real-time indicator of the economy, and we start to see still minor, but steep booking impact, and you see that happening in the economy. We put the whole economy at risk. And so it's been 30 days, and while I don't have a position on which partisan side and how things should be settled with health care. It has been 30 days. I also think it is time to pass a clean CR. Use that as the opportunity to get into a room behind closed doors and negotiate hard on the real and substantive issues that the American people want our politicians on both sides of the aisle to solve. But let's get a clean CR and get that negotiation done behind closed doors without the pressure and without putting the American workers and the American economy at risk.
Federal workers are at breaking point, with many resorting to food banks to feed their families after weeks of no pay.
Federal workers waiting in long lines at this food bank in southern Maryland.
I would have never thought in a million years that I would have been in this position to have to go to a food bank.
But even in the face of unrelenting pressure, Chuck Schumer is standing firm and blaming the Trump administration, flipping the script and saying the Republicans are holding workers hostage.
On Saturday, for the first time in American history, a vicious, heartless president is cutting off food stamps to hungry children, elderly who can't afford enough food to feed themselves, veterans who are down on their luck, all because he wants to use them as hostages so that Democrats will stop fighting for people's health care. We can do both, provide better health care and provide SNAP benefits to the tens of millions who need it. This president is a fucking liar. He says there's no money to provide food stamps because of the shutdown. That's bullshit. His own agriculture department said there's plenty of money. Every president during shutdowns has provided the money that's needed, even Trump in his first term. He is bludgeoning the American people, using the most innocent of victims to try and go along with his cruel shutdown, which takes away health care from millions of Americans. He is the most vindictive politician America has ever seen, and the most heartless man America has ever seen in the presidency. We're fighting him every step of the way.